Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Monday morning. We always get our week started off good with a great Monday on Panhandle Outdoors. So we're glad you're watching. Got a guest here in the studio. Got some great pictures you're going to really get a kick out of. So let's get started with our weather first with Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. All kind of classes they can offer for you there. Run by and check it out. They really do have some good programs. Now, today we're looking at a high of 86 and a low tonight of 78. So it's not a big variance right there. Water temperature is stayed at 83 degrees now. I've looked on the chart. It's been 83 degrees now for 2 weeks, so it's pretty steady right there. Now take a look at our moon phases on Monday. We always like to do our Monday moon phases. Today is July the 25th, and we're looking, let's see, right there. Okay, folks, y'all see it right there, the 22nd. I mixed me up, but we had that full moon tonight, so if the clouds stay away, you get to see a pretty full moon on tonight. And then it's going to start waning on down. This weekend will be some good fishing. Tide chart, looking at our tides brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Cemetery and Funeral Home. Their slogan over there is where caring counts. A lot of good folks over there to help you out in time of need. Now take a look at the tide chart. We got a low tide. Well, actually the high tide this morning is going to be at 9:12. Okay, and then it is falling out really strong. It's going to be a low tide at 8:10 tonight. It's going to be an excellent tide. We're looking at over a 2-foot range today and tomorrow. Really strong tides, and I'm certainly going to try to take advantage of it myself. Hope you can get a chance to get out, but really good strong tides, okay? The marine forecast is west-southwest at 10, so it might be blowing out there a little bit today, so we'll do the best we can when we get out there. All right, let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and welcome back to my guest and friend, Tommy Barnes.
Good morning, good morning.
How you doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
Listen, I've been checking on Tommy lately more than I have normally because my wife is getting ready to trade vehicles. We get tickled because she's changed her mind 3 or 4 times, and I'm sort of staying out of it. At first, I was going to say, honey, we want to do this, we want to do that, and is that normal with customers? They change their mind a lot.
It's normal with women in general. You know,
she watches this show. We got to be careful.
Well, that's their prerogative. You know that we let them have that option. They can change their mind. They can change the color. They can change a lot of things, but we just try to always make them happy. You know.
It amazes me. You got all those expensive things on a car and a truck and all, but usually what comes out the bottom thing is the color.
That's right.
Isn't that
Color is important.
And I'm the same way because I was telling her, I said, honey, let's just, it's your car and all, but let's just don't get a white one. The last couple of vehicles we've had have been white. And they were pretty and all, but I said, my driveway looks like a U.S. government agency with all those white vehicles.
All those white vehicles, yeah,
so
that's right.
We're going to try to get a color, but business has been good?
Business has been real good this month. I mean, we've had some great months. Ever since the 14 has come out, it's been exceptionally well. People have really taken to it. The Camaros are still hot. That's something, the Camaros, we've got the convertibles down there. It's convertible season. It's hot outside, You just got to be careful when you're driving a convertible there to make sure you know about the little rain showers in the afternoon, because if you got the top down and you go into the grocery store, you could come out and have a car full of water, but always put your top back up,
The convertible has always been fascinating in car history, and I love old cars and old trucks and all. And the best vehicle I ever had was a 1948, and I was the third owner of a 1948 Chevrolet pickup truck, and I regret it the day I sold it. I wish I never sold it, but I've been fascinated by getting to convertibles. When the first convertibles came out, remember people had to, you don't remember, but they had to run back when it started raining. They had to actually manually manually do it on the old convertibles.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there like that now.
There's still manual?
There's a few of them out there. We don't have any, but there's a few of them out there. A few car manufacturers still hadn't learned it.
But now you just sort of push a button and it just sort of comes right up, don't it?
It's all automated and everything, seals up, rolls windows up. It's nice. We took a couple down to the parade the other week down at St. Joe, and we took a couple convertibles down there and let some of the older folks ride in them during the parade, and that was sure a neat car. We got, you know, I've driven a lot of the vehicles there because that's what they want us to do. They want us to drive them and learn them. But I drove that Camaro down to St. Joe and back that night, and it was just a lot of fun going down with the top down. Everything.
Well, see, now I would enjoy that. I haven't had a car in many, many years. I've always, you know, had a truck for as long as I can remember, or an old Jeep, and the cars though are really smooth ride, aren't they?
Wonderful, wonderful ride. You know, they've got a lot of soundproofing in our Buicks and Cadillacs and Impalas. The new 2014 Impala is just a totally redesigned car. But you know, and there's still a few of the cars that you can put trailer hitches on, but I got to stay with SUV because you got that big Ranger that I have to pull, and some of the people pulling offshore boats, you just can't pull them with a car. You got to stay with them trucks and SUVs.
Yeah, on an outdoor show like this, we usually talk about trucks and SUVs.
That's right.
That's why
that's
it's
right.
interesting to speak of the Camaro or something like that because I know there's a good market out there for those.
It sure is.
And speaking of pulling your boats and all, have you been able to pull your boat anywhere?
Yeah, I pulled it to the shop the other day, and then I went over a few days later and got it, pulled it back home, put it back in the barn and everything. Had to have a fuel pump replaced on it, but
well, was it because you think on a fuel pump? Because I asked this question because my boat's in the shop right now, broke down on me, and I'm not sure exactly what. You think it was bad gas or just a pump went out?
I think everybody knows exactly what it is. It's that stuff that's coming out of the pump that's not gas.
It's amazing.
It's that ethanol that's just killing everything. I know I've got weed eaters and blowers that I can't even get cranked now because if it sets for 2 or 3 weeks, it's so hard to get them cranked. You just about to take them to the shop.
And it's aggravating, and you start spending more money on tune-ups and fixing than you do when you originally bought it.
That's exactly right.
Here's what I've started doing, especially on my blower, my little driveway blower. I've just got rechargeable batteries now. I'm trying to get away on those small things, get away from all these little gasoline.
A lot of folks just putting just enough gas to do the job and just letting it run completely out, you know.
That's a good point.
And I'm no mechanic, so I don't know if that's even going to help it, but.
Yeah. And y'all know what we're talking about because I have some of y'all talk about it.
Yeah, the lawn mowers are just, it's just terrible this time. Especially, and your grass is growing so fast, you know, during the summertime. I mean, if you've got grass, Lord, I can get it cut today, and 2 days, there's hay of grass growing again, you know, a foot high. So.
And speaking of grass, you know, I quit fertilizing my grass a couple of years ago, and my grass is just as green as it ever has been.
I did too. Yeah, we're getting all these. Getting all these showers. I've got my yard's just as green as it can be.
Yeah, and it goes to show you. I mean, it's going to naturally be green if you keep the water to it. And
that's exactly right.
I live on the water. I just started every time I was fertilized. I just didn't feel good about getting that fertilizer out because I knew sooner or later it's going to wash down in the bay, and I just didn't feel good about it. So I just quit fertilizing several years back.
I don't live on the water, but I quit fertilizing. But it hadn't hurt my yard either.
That's right. That's right. All right, listen, we got some funny pictures and some good pictures of what's been going on this past weekend and all. So we're going to take this break, come back and show you some of these pictures. Okay, welcome back. See, we're Tommy Barnes. He actually works at Bill Kramer Chevrolet, but he fishes any other time.
Fishes every time I can get a chance.
But now, by the way, you were on an exercise program. I saw you the other afternoon at Lynn Haven Park, and you've been walking and everything. How many pounds have you lost?
Lost about 32, 33 pounds right now.
Tommy, that is great.
I got another 40 to go, but
well, congratulations. Yeah. And what are you doing? Just walking? And
I just changed my diet and everything. Yeah. And you know, Winston, it was interesting that you asked that because I made a decision about 2.5 months ago. I was fishing a BASS tournament up in outside of Birmingham, Pell City at Logan Martin. And when I took a bag of fish and I went to step off to go to the weigh-in and kind of lost my balance, and I thought, you know, you are getting too big. If you want to fish and you're going to compete and everything, because standing up on the back of a boat all day is really, if you don't think those guys that are fishing for a living out there, if you don't think those guys are in shape, you know, I remember when Mark Davis won the Classic that year, he had lost about 100 pounds. He had really lost 100 pounds, and he came out and he won the Classic. Now, I'm not saying you're going to win the Classic if you lose 100 pounds, but I'm saying that you feel so much better, and you've got to get up so early because you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting everything ready and getting these tournaments and everything. And if you're overweight, you're going to be tired and everything. I know I just dragged. I couldn't make it to work hardly at 8:30. And now at 5 o'clock, 5:30, I'm out of bed ready to go. And so it just feels so much better.
Well, you're looking good, and I noticed it the other day, and I said, man, Tommy really losing. And I want to congratulate you on doing it, and that's just great. And we talk about, there's always some kind of, I talk to people who, there's always some moment where there's an inspiration to do that, and yours was out there fishing and all.
I was fishing, yeah.
Another great idea, another great reason being outdoors.
That's exactly right.
So
I got 2 boys coming up, and I like taking them fishing and hunting and everything. And if I'm gonna run with them young ones, I'm gonna have to get young again.
Yeah, we're gonna get off the porch. You're gonna run with the big dogs.
That's right.
Look, speaking of fishing, we got we're talking about the iCast, and I was showing the best of show, and I want to show. I waited for this one when Tom isn't here because this is a frog. This is best of show, but I forget who's making this. But anyway, just the idea of fishing with a frog, Tommy.
Yeah.
You do a lot of bass fishing, and a frog is a natural bait, and this certainly looks like a natural bait.
Sure
right
does.
Here, so.
And I'm sure those legs, I know that people are probably, those legs probably extend backwards when that frog is pulled. I'm sure those legs, have the motion with them to looks like it's kicking across the pads.
And we'll find out more about this. And but anyway, that was the iCast best of show. Now let's go to, we got other pictures. Now this is here in Panama City Beach, folks. This is not a posed picture, and this is a recent picture. You may have seen them on the mainstream media had these pictures last week, but this is a hammerhead between the swimmers and between the shore. And I have talked to so many people this summer about just shark sightings all over the place. So do be careful. Do be careful out there. I wouldn't want to be in that position. Would you, Tommy?
No, that position right there is a bad situation. You know what time it is, don't you? It's time to get out of the water.
It's time to get out of the water. All right. Now, Justin Leake was taking a party tarpon fishing the other day, and look what they ran across. I mean, a big king, and they just stopped and caught it on the way to tarpon fishing. That's not a bad bycatch, is it?
Man, that is beautiful.
That is really nice. You can see how pretty the water was. He was able to catch some of the a good day right there, and down there on tarpon fish. I don't know how it did on tarpon. But now, this is not at our beach, but I wish we would have something like this. Seriously, for our tourists and all. This is in Florida, but some counties actually have a little ordinance, or not an ordinance, just a little. When they see a shark, they put up a little sign, and the shark sighted, and the lifeguards do it and all. But it's not a bad idea. Especially when they're prevalent out there. So keep that in mind.
They ought to have one out there of sharks feeding. When you see,
that'll
really make them stay out of the water.
That's true.
Shark feeding.
Now, Tommy, if you're like me, we have our wives with dishes and all. We're supposed to pre-rinse the dishes. Pre-rinse them. We found a better way to do it.
That's right.
Get that little loud pup in there, and they don't have to pre-rinse them anymore.
He likes some biscuit and gravy too, looks like.
No, I didn't do this. I just got this picture. Thought y'all would appreciate it. All right. Everybody, Brandon Major. Brandon graduated several years back. Loves to fish when he gets a chance, but flounder fishing, you can see right there, right off the bridge there. Catch a nice flounder. Good job, Brandon Major. All right. Jeff Graham fishing up here at Sandhill Ponds. His wife Jessica took this picture, and they're just out relaxing, and that looks like fun, don't it, right there?
It sure does. I'll tell you what.
I don't know which pond he's at, but I know he's having a good time right there, and just getting out is fun right here. Okay, this is a great one. This is Spencer Christian, and he's out. This is Black Drum in St. Andrew Bay. They sent this to me on email, and I thank them for sending a picture, and I thank you for taking them fishing. That's a large black drum right there. You just can't hold it up. Good job, Spencer. Now look, the FWC has sent. This is not a picture of Tommy in the younger days. This is a mink. Now it's a rare sighting, but we have minks here in Florida, and if you see a mink, please let them know about it. They want to know about it. Here's another. They're sort of a chocolate. They're small, they're like 2 pounds, and they're small. You can probably mistake them for a little rat or something. But if you see a mink, and really we're seeing them in North Florida, in South Florida you see them around freshwater places, but they're saying in North Florida you see them in saltwater marshes. So if you see one, please let them know about it. They're protected, and they do they're surviving around here. All right, this next picture, I saw this last. Now listen, this is a picture of this past week. Now this is not a new idea. I saw this and I told Gail, I said I'm gonna take this picture to show because I actually did this back in the 1970s at St. Joe State Park. The only difference instead of putting on that little stand there, we used milk cartons, and on that little vent we used cardboard. We used cardboard from these boxes and made a vent, and we used duct tape. So this is not a new idea, folks. I was doing this back in the 1970s at St. Joe State Park, and I saw that. I just cracked up laughing. I said, I said, there's still, this works. We had a small window air that we would, our kids were little, and it would cool off a tent.
My goodness.
Now, you might be a redneck if you set your tent up that way. So I flat out was a redneck and still am. But I like that idea. Now, I like that tent because it goes over to the other tent. It's a kid's tent and a grown-up tent.
Yeah, it's a duplex right there.
Yes, sir. All right. Red grouper. This is Wilson Thomas. Red grouper bite's been really good. It caught a snapper. They had to let the snapper go, but that's a good bite. Check this out. This one didn't make it on the boat. We just spoke with sharks, and this is about the fourth or fifth picture I've shown in the last couple of weeks of sharks just cutting a fish in half, and this is what can happen. So, all right, and then got a bass bite here. That look familiar?
Yeah,
that was at a
familiar.
Tuesday night shootout. That's all they caught them with.
Yeah, it looks familiar from somebody else's boat.
Looks familiar. Okay, all right. That takes care of the pictures. I appreciate y'all sharing those pictures with us, and it's amazing we're able to have pictures almost every day. And
you can see the worm. You know, the old cream-colored worm looks like an earthworm or something. Is what he caught that fish on. So take them up there. Deer Point's. We got plenty of water.
Yeah, still doing a Tuesday night shootout. I was on Deer Point Lake the other day, and a lot of weeds up in our northern end. But and the water, of course, tannic colored, like
right.
we would expect to be this time of year, and all the rain we've had. But Deer Point Lake is a pretty lake.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Got plenty of water, plenty of cover and everything. A lot of people say, you know, they just hate Deer Point Lake. But, you know, I've got several friends that live on the lake, and they're on what we call the water treatment plant, bio. They're, it's got a name, and it escapes me right now. But
I call it water treatment plant.
Yeah, that's what I always call it. But they've caught several nice bass out there. A buddy of mine caught one over 9 pounds the other day on a buzzbait, white buzzbait, just late in the afternoon. Just went out there and was just throwing off of his dock around some reeds there. And
we're going to take a break. We'll come back and debate the merits of worm fishing or buzzbait fishing this time of year. Okay, let's take this final break and we'll be right back. Glad you're with us. This is our final segment here with Tommy Barnes from Bill Kramer Chevrolet, one of our great sponsors, very dependable people. We appreciate our sponsorship.
Hey, we're glad to do it.
Do you get any results from our?
Do a lot of people come by, and we've had a lot of people come by and buy trucks, cars from us, SUVs, but they'll come by and say, hey man, I saw you on the show, and here's what I caught. That's what I like to hear. I like for them to come by and tell me what they caught and what they caught it on, everything. Not that I'm going to have time to go, but at least I like to see the pictures and everything. And I'm starting to, with this new diet I'm starting to do more catch and fillet instead of catch and release. The bass boys don't like to hear that, but, you take that old big slab of bass, put him on the grill.
That's good.
I had some salmon the other night, and I'm gonna cook me up some bass here for too long.
I don't blame you. I like one every now and then too.
That's right.
Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast today, brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty at 832-6000. Give Mark a call between anything you see between Carabel and Dester. Mark can help you out on it. Okay. We're looking at our time this morning at 12:14 a.m. to 2:14. We're just past that, but now listen, Tommy, you take extended lunch. If you wait to lunch at 12:44 to 2:44, just tell Jack that you want to go to lunch right then and run down there to the bridge or wherever you don't get too fast for about an hour or two and catch something.
That's right.
All right, look, we want to we're going to add some names to the pickle jar. Tom, I'm going to let you hold the jar. I'm going to call our names just so we added them, okay? And remember, you can enter any time of the year. This is just some recent. Greg Allred, Panama City, okay? Gene Bigger from Deer Point Lake, you're in it. Ralph Beatty, Panama City. Bob Bigger, Deer Point Lake. Sheila Wyndham, Panama City. And Donald Conkle, Panama City. Now what we're going to do, we're going to have a giveaway within the next week or two. We're going to give a rod and reel. We're just going to do our little summer giveaway. We haven't had a giveaway in about a month or two. And I appreciate y'all going to donate a 2014 truck, Silverado truck.
I tell you, if Chris Kramer's watching, he just lost his teeth. I promise you.
We're kidding about that. We're not going to give away the truck. But we will be having a giveaway pretty soon, and we're going to have all kind of prizes. So go ahead and enter. And, of course, you always, every week, we win something from Tarpon Dock Seafood, okay? Now, speaking of bass fishing real quick, using a worm versus a buzz bait or what's the difference? What do you like to do on different conditions?
Buzz bait early, buzz bait right after daylight. If you're out there around the grass lines and pulling it through those island, the stumps and everything, you want to stay with a buzz bait around the docks. Then as the sun gets up, you go to worm, fish a little deeper, move out on the grass lines, get out there in 6, 7, 8 foot of water and drag that worm around. You should catch them. They're catching them at Deer Point, and I think the rivers are a little too high right now.
Yeah.
Got a little too much water. Somebody said they caught some at the mouth of Black Creek the other day.
Yeah,
so,
I heard about that. Have you heard anything from Wimico? Is it still pretty high?
I hadn't heard anything lately on that. It's still pretty high and everything, but Deer Point Lake's our best bet. Now, I did get a report from Gap Pond. Gap Pond was on about 3 weeks ago. Somebody told me they had 5 big fish. I'm talking about the 7 to 10 pound range.
That's
so
good.
Gap Pond is good right now. Get up there and drag that old June bug worm around, you'll catch them.
Well, look, today it's just you and I. Usually Daniel Raphael joins us, but Daniel's tied up. And tell us about what's going on with Daniel.
Well, Daniel just added a new one to the Raphael group there, the Raphael clan. The family's growing, and Daniel has added a new little baby girl to his stables there.
Okay.
Yeah, and Miss Caroline Raphael, and we're glad to announce it here.
And really, we were expecting Daniel this morning, but he texted you. Said the baby stayed up.
Yeah, had a long night with the baby. Not going to make the show. So we want to say congratulations, Daniel. We love you, and we're praying for you and baby and everything. Everybody's doing good, and Mama's doing good. So he's back at work, but he knows what parenthood is all about.
We've all been parents and all, especially when those babies. You know what Daniel's talking about. Sometimes you just stay up with them during the night, and sort of just part of being a parent.
That's right.
But we're gonna start wrapping things up and all. But y'all go down and see. And we're gonna buy a vehicle pretty soon.
We got plenty of pictures too. Come on by and see that baby.
Well, do you?
Yeah, he's got plenty of pictures to show you. So. And we're gonna try to get those pictures on the show maybe next week or week after. So.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, you gonna sell a truck or car today? What are you?
We're gonna sell both.
Okay.
We got Big Jack. He's looking for you. Come on down and see.
You're looking good too.
Thank you.
And folks, thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. Do something good for somebody today, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.